Hey everybody. I want to do a video this morning regarding the whole guffaw and memo from our president over the last week. If you don't know me, my name is Jay Pryor and I'm a transgender, gender nonconforming human. I was assigned female at birth. I lived for over half my life as a woman. Then I took testosterone for 17 years. It made my body look like this. And over the last 3 months, I've gone off testosterone. So now my female body parts are still in there. So I am one of those people that you would like to put in a box, and I can't really be put in a box. I am someone who was, yes, born female, and that is my sex, but my gender clearly is not that, right? My gender expression is masculine. I like the beard. Actually, I did it for the beard. I did the sex change completely for the beard. Not to be a man. I don't consider myself a man. I just wanted the beard. So that's the truth. So let's address this for a second. First of all, I wish that when people in power did things like put out memos or things like that, that they had consultants that could help them be accurate in their speaking. Because first of all, I want you to know that as a coach, I'm a coach and a consultant. And my commitment is to always come at life powerfully and being able to see the hope in everything, right? And my commitment as an activist is to come from a loving place, right? And not to other people. So I will tell you that in my attempt to not other people who vote differently than me or who think differently than me, in the last 3 weeks when we've had the Kavanaugh stuff come up and then this stuff, it has been really challenging for me to be someone to not other people. When we see some of you literally laughing at a woman speaking about sexual assault, wow, do I want to other you? I don't want to be like you. I don't. And wow, I know that everything that lives in you lives in me and we're all connected. So I'm really committed to loving all of you and to loving the transphobia out of all of you. So I want to do a little bit of education. I want to make sure you understand the distinction and difference between sex and gender. So when we are talking about male and female, right, we are talking about sex. And in our country, we already have that wrong. We say that there's only two sexes, male and female. And that's it, those two sexes. That in and of itself is already inaccurate. If you don't know this, at least 1.7% of the population is born intersexed. Now, intersex people are born with a number of variety, right? There's so much variety that I'm not a medical person, I can't speak to that. But I will tell you that they are born with both, possibly both, like they may be born with ovaries and testes, okay? These are people that in the past, some of you may have called hermaphrodites. Do not use that word. That is offensive to intersex people. They do not like that word. And so just to be kind and to, again, to come from a place of loving place, let's use the word intersex. So 1.7% of the population is born intersexed. And the way that a lot of states deal with that currently is they chop them up and do surgeries on babies so that they can fit into these little boxes that you call boy or girl or male or female. Now, California has already banned surgeries on intersex babies. So already we're going to start having intersex babies being born in California who haven't had surgeries, who are going to get to decide for themselves how they want to express themselves, what their gender identity is. Their sex is intersexed. Their gender identity, their gender expression, we don't know, right? Because they're going to decide that for themselves. Please tell me that as human beings, you don't want to go back in time, right? It blows my mind that people actually want to go back in time to a time when we had segregation and we had, like slavery and crap. I mean, and people literally beat to death because people don't want them to express themselves as any other gender. I know people my age who have had the girl try to get beat out of them. Young trans women when they're babies, little kids, right? I know this, and it's violence against us and transphobia. And that memo is transphobic. And if you don't understand that, then we have a long way to go, right? I'm going to try to love you through it, but for crying out loud, if you don't understand that that's transphobia, that's horrifying to me, right? It's really horrifying to me. And so I just want to explain that there's a difference between talking about sex and gender. There are three sexes: female, male, intersexed. Right now, currently, we act like intersex doesn't exist because we chop them up, butcher them up, and make them fit into one of those boxes. And over 50% of the time, we are wrong, right? So there's a movement afoot, and California is already on board. So how dumb would it be when we have California and the rest of Germany, the rest of the world, to move forward with 3 sexes and acknowledging that gender is an expression and that we could validate that for people? We're going to go backwards? We're going to go back in time and let the rest of the world lead? What are you talking? Seriously? So let's get clear about what you're saying. What you're really talking about is sex. You're talking about male, and female is sex. Again, there are 3 sexes: male, female, intersexed. Then there is gender expression and gender identity, okay? My gender expression is masculine, clearly. I like the beard. I had the sex change for the beard. I like men's clothes. I like everything about a masculine expression. I enjoy that. However, I have working ovaries, and from the waist down, I'm completely female, right? So, what are you going to do with me? What box are you going to put me in? If you're going to talk about my actual sex, okay, I was female at birth, but a lot of my friends were born female, and now they have anatomy that is male, right? And you cannot say that once their sex has been reassigned that you're going to go back to say it. That would be ridiculous, right? That would not even be a smart thing to do. So, point being, we've got all worked up. We've got this hashtag won't be erased. But what I say is, we can't be erased. We can't be. Not we won't be. We cannot be. Because we already exist. You can't erase me. And I am a powerful person. I'm out in the world making a huge difference for people. And I've been out there doing it for a long time. And we got a lot of young people who are already on board with this concept. So what I want all of my trans friends and people to take faith in is the fact that we're already here and no one can erase me. Like you can't erase me. I'm already here. I have a beard. I have ovaries. My sex is female, but my gender expression is masculine. My gender identity is actually more woman, but I call myself a genderqueer, right? Because I'm very fluid in my gender. Sex and gender are separate things, okay? Separate things. When you were talking about male and female, you're talking about sex. So, I just want to, first of all, validate that yes, people are trying to scare us. And there is an attempt, clearly, to just scare you, right? To just have you scared. And so if you're scared, then you'll run, right? You'll do scary things. You'll do things scared to. You'll be controlled. I can't be controlled. I can't be erased. And I'm not scared because I know my own power to stand in my own truth. And I've been doing this for 34 years, people. I've been on the front lines of the LGBTQ movement, loving people through their homophobia, loving people through their transphobia for 34 years. You cannot erase me because I am way more powerful than that.